Hey, what's going on? Hope you're having an awesome day. And today, I'm just going to touch a little bit on portion control and how to determine your portion control, how to realize when you're hungry, and how to stop before you end up eating like an asshole. So, a couple things to go over with portion control. First, you can weigh out your food. Of course, realize that there's each thing's going to be different. Whether if you're having 4 ounces of chicken, make sure that you're weighing out 4 ounces, and that's what you're eating. And if you're out, probably overestimate before you underestimate. That's one thing I would definitely say, because the portions you get out at restaurants are generally going to be at least 2, maybe even 3 times of what a normal portion would be if you were in control of exactly what you were doing. So, first thing, we're going to take our palm. This part here is going to be reserved for protein. So, palm right here for protein. Next up, we're going to have a fist for carbohydrates. Okay, vegetables are going to be the whole hand, and then your fats are going to be a thumb. And an easy way to kind of set this up and kind of remember is if you take a full plate, say you're out eating or you're doing anything, say you're at home, you just don't feel like measuring anything out. Half of your plate is going to be vegetables. All right, that's already done, decided for. Now you have another half, and you're going to break down a quarter of that is going to be your protein. Now the next 2 areas, the majority of your next quarter is going to be carbohydrates, and then you'll have a little sliver for your fats. And of course, you can adjust this as need be, but this is a surefire way to make sure that you're getting the correct portions of the things that you need without going over, hopefully, and still maintaining a calorie deficit, so that way you can still keep losing fat. The next part about portion control is realizing when you're hungry. And I'd like to use a hunger scale, like 1 to 10. And you kind of want to maintain in that 4 to 7 range, probably. 4 means you're starting to feel hungry, but you're not in that. So let's back up a little bit. 1 is going to be you're like super, super, super starving. 10 is you ate way too much. So 1, there's nothing there. 10, you're like overboard, like you have the itis. 4 to 7 is going to give you a range where you recognize that you're hungry, but you're not hungry enough to make bad choices. And realizing that you're hungry before you get to say, you're like a 1 and you're starving like super, super bad. When you go to 1, you're going to go and grab a Kit Kat, or you're going to stop wherever you can to get the quickest, fastest meal to, get you back in there. And you're not going to worry about those calories there either. So 4 to 7 is a good range. When you're eating, having the plate set up this way, eat the vegetables first. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Seltzer water will also help curb your appetite a little bit and kind of fill you up a little more. You never want to eat to a place you shouldn't feel stuffed while you're eating, like you've made it too far. You should get to a point where you feel satisfied and you're comfortable. After you eat, you should still be able to go out and do stuff. You should be able to go out about your normal day. You should be able to go out for a walk and not feel sluggish. So realizing when you're hungry is super important, and just keeping mental notes of that stuff. Know that if last time you had a meal, say you went out, you had a meal, you were so stuffed that you couldn't do anything the rest of the day. Think about what that meal was. Make some changes. Maybe you don't want to get the bread beforehand, or maybe you just want to have a little bit of bread. Maybe you ate too much of one thing, and that's kind of what put you over, and maybe you got dessert, but you'll have at least the knowledge to know that you went over a little bit, find out where the issue was, and then you can make a change for next time. Lastly is, before you fill up too much, a lot of this comes in with chewing. When you chew and you're chewing your food, it sends signal to your brain, okay, we're going to start the digestion process with which starts in your mouth when you build up saliva, things like that, and goes all the way through. If you're eating too fast, you're not going to recognize when you're too full. Our bodies are really great at telling us exactly what we need to know. So if you're eating your food, you're chewing it thoroughly, then swallowing, I know. You're going to get to a place where you feel comfortable, and if there's food left over on your plate, like, that's okay. Like, you're not a garbage disposal. Just because there's food left on the plate does not mean you have to eat it. And taking your time, chewing slowly, making sure you eat the vegetables first, drinking lots of water, and if you need something a little bit more and you're working on cutting calories, seltzer water. Those types of things are going to help fill you up more, especially the vegetables. Like, I can't tell you how much vegetables are important in this. And then that'll stop you from getting to, say, 8, 9, or 10 on the hunger scale, where you feel sluggish, lethargic, and can't move. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, just post them below, and I'll talk to you later.